Welcome to LSF Round 3. This is the worst round of TWOW I have ever hosted. I would love to just show you results and get this over with, but we have a whopping 50 confessionals to get through first. Yep, you heard me right. 50. Thanks, Arnoob. This is frankly a ridiculous amount of confessionals to sit through, so for the sake of you viewers, I'm going to put this section at 2 times speed. Ready, set, go!
Fordyce said, recently took a trip to check out these mechanical crossings. They're really cool, see them for yourself. Shotovis Czechia. Adamanti, who didn't even respond to this round, said, oh, it's focused. I'd say it's, I think it's, I haven't, look, I have trouble even mentioning, even saying to myself, my own head, the number of years. I no more think of myself as being as old as I am than fly. I mean, it's just not, I haven't observed anything in terms of, there's not things I don't do now that I did before, whether it's physical or mental or anything else. A literal tree said, a literal tree, 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 a literal tree. I'm totally not cheating a stat. An artichoke said, I'm giving Leah a confessional ticket, so if there's any of them she really doesn't want to read, I'll do it, since my reputation has already been destroyed by Hi Audie, Also, I'm only doing this for the technical. For my own sanity, she can only use it once. Arcari said, why is the voting time so short? Is the government trying to hide its bad answer full of emoji? Is the PRC taking over the SWOW? The plot thicken. Arnoob said, this is my revenge for Artie TWOW. Bubbletrump said, effectively utilizing hypoglycemia. Leopard Sun might easily read this confessional. Claire Crayon said, connection terminated. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Elizabeth, if you still even remember that name, but I'm afraid you've been misinformed. You are not here to receive a gift, nor have you been called here by the individual you assume, although you have indeed been called. You have all been called here, into a labyrinth of sounds and smells, misdirection and misfortune, a labyrinth with no exit, a maze with no prize. You don't even realize that you are trapped. Your lust for blood has driven you in endless circles, chasing the cries of children in some unseen chamber, always seeming so near, yet somehow out of reach. But you will never find them, none of you will. This is where your story ends. And to you, my brave volunteer, who somehow found this job listing not intended for you. Although there was a way planned out for you, I have a feeling that's not what you want. I have a feeling you are right where you want to be. I am remaining as well. I am nearby. This place will not be remembered, and the memory of everything that started this can finally begin to fade away, as the agony of every tragedy should. And to you monsters trapped in the corridors, be still and give up your spirits. They don't belong to you. For most of you, I believe there is peace, and perhaps more, waiting for you after the smoke clears. Although, for one of you, the darkest pit of hell has opened up to swallow you whole, so don't keep the devil waiting, old friend. My daughter, if you can hear me, I knew you would return as well. It's in your nature to protect the innocent. I'm sorry that on that day, the day you were shut out and left to die, no one was there to lift you into their arms the way you lifted others into yours. And then, what became of you? I should have known you wouldn't be content to disappear. Not my daughter. If I couldn't save you then, so let me save you now. It's time for you to rest. For you, and for those you have carried in your arms. This ends, for all of us, in communication. Clover said, neonic, 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 neonic. 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 Neonic, 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 neonic. 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 Neonic, 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 neonic. Kohaki said, la 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 la, I am the Kohaki. Crazy said, thanks for the nice TWOW experience, I always wanted to try one. Cyclo said, yeah, I'm not expecting to do good in Raw Sport this time. Today Brick said, hi everyone, it's Dawn. How is all of your days going? I need something fun for Leah to say, so I really hope she doesn't develop pneumono ultra microscopic ciliovolcaniosis. Wait, I forgot to check if she had hippopotamonsteroquipedaliophobia before writing this. Shit. Well, if she does, I can just meet her in Yonfair Filginio Gogari Schwinn Grubly Anticilio Gogogok. Don't trust the bushes said, space is a disgrace. Envy said, hi guys, Leah Solar Flare. Hope I don't die here. Hope I do die IRL. Honestly, I feel that. Eternal Rose said, the following is a language processing and speaking test that I, Leah, will now pass on my first try with no mistakes or audio editing. Each part must be completed in under 15 seconds. Part 1, word pronunciation. These were arbitrarily picked from a list of English words. Caciator, camaraderie, chauvinism, curmudgeon, euthanasia, onomatopoeia, Utilian, schadenfreude, sesquipedalian, triskadiac, hecaphobia. Part 2, tongue twister. The following tongue twister is repeated 5 times. There must be under 1 second of pause with each repetition. Pad kid board, turd pulled cod. 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 Part 3, nonsense syllable stringing. The following words were arbitrarily generated by a human. Corial, topogar, interflux, introvocational, quax, cavitalite, Rion Troiven, Shofawogging, Blongbuaku Shikoku. I, Leah, have now passed the language processing and speaking test with a perfect score. Thank you to the judges of this test, and of course, greetings from Yonfair, Fulginio, Gogari, Schwinn, Grubble, Yanti, Silio, Gogogok. Everyone said, 40.08501907105099. minus 83.12323918833768. The ball goes in the hop up one's corner of Rask. It goes as Dauda send a wop to skort ASCII Lavos the Soiti. I love this Sisyphe in Nebraska. I love the way their corn scooter, Aptnad, one to Corncriff, Fajar, the ball, Kosari, Gib, Citywell, Speech, 10, the breaks and it. Fidget Boy said, I have a confession. I like cowboys more than pirates. I'm sorry. Fred Something said, Warrior Cats is bad. Taking off the 3 is the worst one. It's a 2 out of 10 at best. I'm now retroactively making Fred Something the winner of all previous Concise Star seasons, and that's a legally binding statement. It's official now, regardless of anything I might say in the future or have already said in the past. My social security number is insert social security number here, assuming you have one. If you don't, then well, this is awkward. I will now read out Fred's Arcade 12 Round 6 response in its entirety. Considering other prepositions is preposterous, Anne is always going to be the one for me because homie's always there for you whenever you're in pain, in fear, in tears, in luck, in sane. It's in every sentence I say, it's even in my name. Trying to live without it is just living in vain. Hotels are for chumps. I only ever say it in. If you hate someone, say it out. You never say it in. It always shows up when good things are about. It's in living but not in dying, or crying or drought. I never say I've won. I've always say I win, because on is always out and in is always in. I'm in debt to in and the joy it brings, always watching over us even in our sins. When I speak the word, my problems vanish like I'm in space. And is always making sure we're in the right place. Never worried to use the word I'm never in doubt. In fact, I'm starting a religion, becoming devout. It keeps everything in order like an angel from above. So in conclusion, but in, I'm in love. Funo said, I sent my response last minute. Here's the drawing I did for us all. Hakun said, I am going to suck out your bones. Infinithreat sent this image. Joman sent this image. Jolene Kirby said, Hey y'all, I don't have much time right now, so all I will say is that I do not like these technicals. Man, if only there were a charming transsexual who could make the best technicals if given the chance. Colon 3. See y'all next time. Love and rage. Koopa said, Welcome to the goddamn digital circus. My name is Kane. I am your bitch, and I'm here to show you the most horny, sex-appealing, pornographic imagery you've ever laid your eyes upon. Lay said, Yapper, give me headpats. Master Mark sent this gif. Matt said, Stream on non-credian narrati, sung by Adelina Paddy. Mindflex B said, Lia tiene un bien acento español, vamos a averiguar. Si Lia puede pronunciar la R en lograr, la E en fallar, y la R en carro, todo correctamente, Lia tiene un acento español bastante bueno. Y ahora, el reto final, poner las 3 partes juntos en una palabra. ¿Lista, Lia? Tu palabra es desarrollar. Como te fu? Probablemente perdo. Pues, gracias por nombrar prueba de acento español de Lia. Monochrome said, I'm on vacation in South Africa and a few other countries right now, just to see cool animals, so I didn't have much time to respond or put effort into it. I might have threw this round, but maybe I made it, hopefully. Yuri Gal said, this is the one and only round that I will take advantage of filling the most technicals possible. Also, I like Veronica. Neutrality said, Super Vote Game. Din Dragon 471 said, cat. Normal Bin said, being gay gives you a 10% boost, trust me. This is true, however, since all LSF contestants are gay, the boost has no effect. Not a Donut said, Sonic the Hedgehog, one of the greatest and most attractive characters ever thought of. He can run at sound speed, take out enemies in a flash, and best of all, he's blue-colored and knows how to handle the female. Speaking of females, the Sonic universe might also be classified as hot chick heaven because there's such a massive, very beautiful and tough women that it will make you love the franchise even more. And since Valentine's Day is just around the corner, I've been inspired to make a top 10 list of the most beautiful female Sonic characters. Grab yourself a snack and a glass of orange juice and try not to reach for the screen because here we go! 10. Try this question on your side. Who chases and hugs Sonic all the time and wields a powerful hammer? Why, it's Amy Rose, of course. Though more of a cutie than a hottie, you can't deny the fact that she's still attractive. 2 things that make her attractive are the fact that she wears a dress, and when have you ever seen 3 big, very smooth arcs of hair sticking out of a person's forehead? I haven't. So once again, Amy Rose is lovely. That is, until she goes berserk and starts hitting stuff with her hammer. Who's at number 9? It's this alien plant girl from a distant planet, Cosmo from Sonic X. She arrives on the character's planet to deliver a message saying that the galaxy was under attack by a force called the Netherite. She doesn't do much except tell people to stop fighting and focus on the real matter at hand. The real reason she lies at the number 9 is that she becomes Miles Tails' Prowess sweetheart, something Tails needed for a long while. Numero Ucho, Cream the Rabbit's mother, Vanilla. She's attractive and the average size of a human mother. What really surprises me about her is that the leader of Team Chaotix, Vector the Crocodile, falls in love with her. Kinda silly, don't you think? She's another character that doesn't do much, but in a season 3 episode of Sonic X, she helps Chris Thorndike get into S. Ochre said, Howdy. Olivia said, Yo, if you don't shut your mouth, I'ma shut it for you. Punk, hit ya with the punk tactics. 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 Hit you with the hard punk tactics. Bank rolls come straight for the asset. No games, so throw all past it. If you up, you out with Jurassic. Oh no, for the rigmarole, we get froze up toes. I suppose you might know. With the block, then you flop times up, now you better get fucked. Hey, spicy like pepper, 1-2-stepper. Fade back, motivated, money, go get her. Never felt better, write me love letters. Treat out the spike chain, make it a chapter. Get over here like Scorpion. Put you to sleep, Kevorkian. Should I sit there till you get the picture? If you don't budge, I'm gonna have to hit ya. Hit ya with the punk tactics. 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 Yo, Lace is losing fist tight. I never lose a fist fight, son. I've been up all night. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right. B to the R to the A to the E. F what you think. I'm stay G. H is hot cause that's what I be. IJ camps. Cold as a tweet. Ooh, goddamn, I drop bombs. I was born with the brains of LeBron. I am the king and George is the prawn. Who's got the high ground now, Obi-Wan? Alphabet runs like chicken noodle soup. 2 door pick you up in the coop. Chicken by the hoop. Jiggy on the loose. Shark mentality, let my name Bruce. Hit ya with the punk tactics. 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 Pastel said, Hi, Arnu. Beacon said, Hi, really excited for these results. I'm a bit nervous. 3 rounds have been building up to a 50% death rate, and you can never feel comfortable with that, but I'd be annoyed with myself if I didn't make it through the first phase, so here's hoping. As for Lich Bot, I'm pretty sure its goose is cooked. It impressed me a lot with its round 2 performance, though. I know it's capable enough that somewhere else in the future, even if its responses in round 1 and 3 were not good or technical driven enough that I think it's in with a shot in this particular as well. Nevertheless, good luck to everyone. Pixel said, Meow, 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 meow. Renault C6's confessional is going to be read by an arbitrator. Take it away, Artie.
I'm doing this for a cookie as well, so I better get my cookie Leah. I was going to submit, give me this technical free me please, as my confessional, but I'm doing portraits today. Genia Tondo, Zenyon Greshenkian, Jukian Tuletugo, Shanki, Shiyu, Jaute, Huiki, Gaude John, Yonka, Jingdang, thank you to you, Zingdong, Zhuzhang, Zhiwei, Zhui, Gene, Defanchi, Jiushuan, Zhu, Jing Yonka, De Dai, Dai, Ga, Jing Lili, Yu De Jing Yonka, thank you, Jing, Dai, Ga, Jing, Li, Yizhang, Ti, Juan Dao, Yi, Zhang, Hui Bo, Wan Quan, Zhipao, Zhizai, Shipao, Zhidan, Zui, Zhang, Zhi, 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 thank you, Zhizai, Gao, Kai, Gao, Zhidan, Zhiang, Ga, Da, Du, Du, Shi, Yo, Nian, Baby, Hui, Zhi, Shen, Ki, Zhi, Lu, Yao, Gan, Getting, Ki, King, Korang, Zhi, Video designer day, King on card, Visual, Zone, Boyo, DG, Daja, DG, Tianji, Nezhen, Kadi, Daji, Yang Chakan, Zoe, Bushaga, Kai Kai, Jingling, Dufo, Yang Ka, Shengli, Frank on Daji, Gao, Jingli, Shengin, Jikan, Zhang Gan Kong, Tui, Jingdong, Dishi, Yu, Liu, Bi, Dejuku, Jinking, Ding, Dishi, Yanji, Shakan, Meijing, Yaki, Yao, Iman, Meijing, Kapayan, Fangbian, Gong, Kai, Ga, Jingling, Dishi, Kushiku, Gay Rang, Daja, Fangong, Shibuji, 就是要装成介绍。大家看，也是想知道正常，话大家认为看得多是那些这样去，但是人家把慢法术，所以到这些是就让话一番不负担，对不上话是难样子，那些人说玩法的朋友，其实也还是有这些，不过大家认为在当时的经历不让人当，人家认为排行榜。 是排行榜是更新的上呀，认领排行榜，所以ben je men是有个咁一难，第一年过后，他可能属于第不后年岁，但大下可以总是在一年后正式正5年飞家，正你换广告不讲你，只搞10年，也是第转讲是为，只搞见12， it just says 12. Finally, something I can pronounce. 只有你给得到的这种报酬总体，人道数年飞入有个门对哈，但排行榜是用的点数叫经验，人用个点数很讲你真但点数高呀，我是比较难用户人士，然后多的报酬福利 women that just says women， 并不是用你是只的，而是 calculate 一定的是说的个是 Chang Nang Yim Limping. Oh god, this is Thai. I'm gonna disappoint TR. Shang name Yim Lapeng. Huara Lapeng. SD. How the hell do I? Should Chung Kwa Thuk Krong the Fan Me Thank the Fib Cab Thex Nan Rooks in cringe? That just says cringe. That I'm using the phonetics on Google Translate to do this. That just says cringe. Cab Quang Fent Kate Gun Dwai Gun Tanta John X Y Yak Ka Huid Willa. The Thank Day Winna the Jewit Me Thex. Ka Methex Kaya. Kan the Huenexi, Lanan Cla Kabib, Wasi, Hyodhud, Jewit, the Cab can never clear Kabi, so Kahin, Hyodhud, Kwam, Raktai, Wasi, Ka, Hyod, the Cab text can be Shanan without be like that. Then the text cooks, Kwam, Choki, the Kiana, Tanti, the Fifkin text, and Jiwatan, cooks, Kwam, Tanti, Kate, context, to the John Apes, Kahyod, Velan, Tanti, Rati, the Jewit, text, Matex, Can the NFC Lanan, Wasi, Hyod, Hyod, Gab, the Malakar, Kaldir, Hyod, the Kwam, Raktai, Wasi, Kahyod, if you have text, then they will Hyod, Captain, Mawa, Kid, Gabis. I can get the bomb rack then, see, got yet to complex can be yet to what can be on here, copy say, okay, can get her bomb rack, hang on the cat, zoo can text, can do with you, can be my like here, I can get bomb rack, I can get zoo can text, can do with you, captain, my like I can bomb rack, Kelsey got hit, zoo can text, can do. Pretty normal and good. It was lovely. Okay, it's no longer Thai. Thank God. I won't be disappointing TR and said it's Russian. I'm pretty sure there are some Russians, so I'm gonna let it insult them. Pretty normal Nick. Usi Laviak. Besti Nevgaz. Legje Vozduka. 300% At Tilin Ne Abledet. Zapakon. Malora. Stoforin. Vivode. Korosho. Rast. Vora Yatsa. Vi At Setone. Temperatura Kipenia. Well, I did it. On my cookie, Leah. Took almost 10 minutes.
Rapid said, I got a cookie for being an early responder, let's go! Polling 333. Reed said, easy. Sergeant Spivey said, I love technicals, I love technicals, I love technicals, I love technicals. Sicto said, well, it's just one of those days where things happen in Deep Strains napkins, I guess. Swilmy Namco sent, this. Tonya Chopper said, these bitches love Tonya, oh tech or no tech, fucking with them chef boys, you gon' get fucked over. Fredericks and Clover, these condos love Chef Tonya. Hit him with that boost score, now Quetzal slumped over. They do it all for Chef Tech, you boys ain't making no egg, y'all know I'm jealous child, your clique full of guiles, God y'all some raw boys, God y'all some raw boys, we 89 round dope boys, we got lots of that make a burger. TR said, Young fair plugini gogri shun druggle yenti silio gogogok, pseudo hip hop parathyroidism, honorific abilitudine tatibus, shark gogagog manchua gogagog shabu nagungamagog. Tau mata wakat halni hanga ko awao tamati atsur pukipaki imanga honoru kupakdao hinuak tiniatahu. Hippo monstero squefideliophobia. Plot synia vilification. Rin flish tiki titirung super wakuns sufa benuber traguns sets. Dichloro diphenyl trichloroethane. Zenza. Twiggy said, colon 3. Miracle said, hi Nad, thanks Nad.
It's finally over. This is what I do for you guys. Anyway, let's collectively put this confessional trauma in the back of our minds and do our best to forget about it as we move into the meat of the round. Now, I'm going to present results a bit differently compared to what I did in rounds 1 and 2. Since revealing the leaderboard itself would basically just spoil who qualifies, I'm instead going to slowly reveal everyone who made it to phase 2 in this roster. Let's start one at a time to shine a spotlight on our top few. In first place, with a mind-boggling total SR of 296.52%, is one of only 3 contestants to prize in all 3 rounds of the first phase. They're also one of my closest and longest-lasting friends in the TWOW community. Ladies, gentlemen, and otherwise, I'm proud to present your Phase 1 winner, Clover! I couldn't think of a more fitting person to fill this spot. By the way, see that little icon? I made pixel art of everyone who qualified. Be looking forward to that in case you performed well enough to snag one of those cherished Phase 2 slots. Anyway, our runner-up for this phase fell less than 4% behind Clover in total SRs. They also prized in all 3 rounds, and I played Among Us with them recently. Huh? That doesn't narrow it down? Well, if I could describe this person with the title of a Hamilton song, it'd be The World Turned Upside Down. That's right, congratulations to Arnu for qualifying and taking that silver medal. I really appreciate you for being able to consistently pull off prizes while still writing actually coherent responses. Unsurprisingly, 3rd place is our last triple prizer. It's actually someone who I wasn't even expecting would join the season in the first place, but I'm delighted that they got to make such a strong run for their debut in my TWOW. Kudos to you, Renault C6. I bet victory tastes sweet after spending so long out of the limelight. In 4th place is someone who I unfortunately don't have as much to say about. They came close to being another triple prizer, but fell a few spots short. They were also the only person I had to outright reject a confessional from. Meowie, you might not have been able to keep up your front-running performance, but I think 4th is still a very respectable finish. I feel like I owe an apology to 5th place because I totally nerfed their technical this round without warning them. I had to do it for the sake of fairness, but I definitely should have communicated more before making such a major change. I hope qualifying with a prize this round is enough to make up for that Mindflex fee. Your run in this phase was honestly way more impressive than I would have expected, even after seeing how well you've been doing in Sparkle 12. You've certainly risen far above your status as that guy who abused the pun meta right after 25B, at least in my mind. 6th place is a dumb fuck. If you guessed Tonya Chopper from that description, you'd be correct. You're in a similar position to Meowie this round, narrowly missing out on the 3-time prize streak, but your rushed response that failed to pass as many technicals as you would have hoped made you fall a bit further down than her. Oh well, I still think qualifying with 270% is impressive. Moving down to 7th, it's actually someone who I'd never even heard of before this season started. I don't know if you're actually new or if you have some previous twowing experience, but either way, you sure got the hang of things quickly, Infinithreat. You did manage to finally snag a prize this round after barely missing out in the 2 rounds prior, even if it was by the skin of your teeth. I think your ability to write genuinely good responses that pass way more technicals than they appear to was unmatched by anyone else this phase, with the possible exception of Arnu. Numero Ocho. This contestant was the first person to ever be declared the winner of one of my TWOW seasons, and if their confessional is to believe, they also won every subsequent season I ever hosted. Fred something, you were the last member of the missed out on the chance at a triple prize trio, but I think it goes without saying that 8th is nothing to sneeze at, especially in this roster. I'm hyped to see if you can keep this up in the coming phases. Alright, on to 9th place. I try to keep my biases as a host mostly hidden away, but there are some things I just can't lie to you guys about. This person was, by far, the contestant I was most excited to see join this season, and after seeing the endless amount of ways they managed to choose technicals, I think my hype was more than justified. TR, in spite of your bottom half performance back in round 1, you managed to clutch a qualifying spot with nearly 240% total SRs thanks to winning both round 2 and round 3. You played this game like you were a chess queen in a game of checkers, and I couldn't be more proud of your performance.
Now that we filled out the entire top row, how about we speed things up just a bit? I'll go in groups of 3 from here on. Starting us off, the people of this triad were honestly way more paranoid about this round than they should have been. I'm pleased to say that Cyclo, Funo, and Twiggy all comfortably qualify for Phase 2. Looks like we've got an old 2-hour sandwich with 25B bread. I don't want to dwell too long on any specific group, so let's move forward. The next triplet has a lot in common. All primarily green books, all avid enjoyers of TLAO, and all alumni in the most recent Concise Cross season. Wink wink. Congrats to ITOD, Not a Donut, and to Daybreak. There's not much I can think of that ties the next 3 together, other than they were all some of the hardest books to pixelate, and they were all major wildcard performers in this stage. Please welcome Eternal Rose, Crazy, and Olivier into Phase 2. I've mostly refrained from talking about responses, but I will mention that Rose had my personal favorite this round, and that she totally deserved better. This next batch were honestly all fairly noteworthy underdogs in this phase, even though they usually tend to do pretty well in early trial rounds. In any case, it's nice to be able to say that a Literal Tree, Virigold, and Quetzal all qualify for Phase 2. You want to know something funny? These next 3 players were all alumni in Litwell. When you account for Virigold and Quetzal, that's 5 in a row. Pretty strange coincidence. Anyway, Pikaman, Neptune, and Adamanti are the next ones to join the Phase 2 club. Even though the latter 2 didn't respond to this round. Grrr. To tell you the truth, if you showed me just the responses each of these next 3 contestants submitted without their scores attached, for every round of Phase 1, I wouldn't have expected any of them to qualify. It's crazy how much of an impact technicals can have, and Artichoke, Jolene Kirby, and Koopa may well not have qualified without them. Can you believe that we're already more than halfway through revealing the cast of the second phase? Because we are! I could speed things up even more, but I want to keep some suspense for everyone who hasn't been revealed yet. Speaking of those who haven't been revealed yet, these next 3 share the trope of all being some of my favorite people in the competition to talk to. Normal Ben, Don't Trust the Bushes, and Claire Crayon, it's an honor to announce that you've made it through. If we're talking about people who I didn't expect to qualify, this next batch certainly fits the bill. 2 of them have historically weak records in my seasons, and I kinda thought the remaining one would DNP after seeing how embarrassing round 1 was. Nevertheless, Pixel, Otis, and Suomi Namco are in Phase 2. I spent a solid few minutes staring at the next 3 contestants in search of something they had in common, but I finally figured it out. All 3 have silly wavy patterns as aspects of their books' appearances, and frankly, I'm in favor of such designs because they make my pixel art a lot more fun to draw. Sicto, Fish, and Kohaki, keep rocking those squiggles. By the way, Kohaki is the first and possibly only contestant to qualify without participating in round 1. Getting 140% SRs while only responding to 2 rounds is quite impressive, and I'm glad your hard work paid off for you. We're starting to get to the point where predicting who qualifies and who doesn't is pretty difficult. I sincerely hope I've been able to strike thorough fear into the hearts of everyone who hasn't been revealed yet. These next 3 are all contestants who, if you asked me at the beginning of the season, I would guess wouldn't make it through. Bubble Trump, Squish, and Rapid, feel free to laugh in my face for how wrong I was. You all undoubtedly earned your spots here. Next up are actually 2 of my closest friends, alongside someone who I had barely interacted with at all before this season began. One of them prized in a previous round, one of them was already in a likely position to qualify fairly comfortably, and one of them was all the way down in 70th after their pitiful performances in rounds 1 and 2. Good job to Nerdy Gal and Avocado for keeping up their runs, but I need to shine the spotlight on Evrion, who I believe had the single most impressive comeback this round by a massive margin. She came up with the genius idea to make her response 2 words from the Shavian alphabet, which each have 2 different meanings, allowing for 4 separate responses. 4 possible interpretations of her response that all feasibly answer the prompt. This strategy also allowed her to pass both I-5 and X-5, 2 technicals that should be mutually exclusive. It is nothing short of phenomenal to see her crawl out of the ditch she dug herself into and move on to the second phase. I'm sorry for rambling so long about Evrion's response, I just genuinely think it was incredibly innovative. To compensate, I won't make any additional comments about Phoenix 19, Neutrality, and Pastaline qualifying. We're at the home stretch now, my friends. This upcoming batch contains a veteran from my first ever season, a trans tower with next to no prior experience, and quite possibly the most surprising qualification of the entire roster. I'm pleased to welcome Envy, Pretzel Dinosaur, and Fidget Boy, respectively, into Phase 2. Aw, there's only 3 spots left. That's sad, there's so many people still fighting to make it through. Oh well, I guess I'll slow back down to a one-at-a-time pace to raise the suspense for everyone still anticipating their rank. In 49th, one of the most unconfident players in the entire competition. You debated whether or not it was even worth responding to this round. Hell, you debated whether or not you were even going to sign up for the season at all. But your perseverance got you into Phase 2, even if you're only hanging by a thread. Who am I talking about? None other than Orbital Nova. You're still trying to match your alumni performance in my first season, right? Well, maybe this is the universe giving you a chance to do just that. Now, 50th place was pretty deep in the hole after round 2. If I know them well, I know they've more than likely given up on their hope on making it through already. But while their pessimism may be strong, their will to try their damnedest no matter what is even stronger. Just barely scraping into Phase 2, it's our very own woodwind enthusiast in the flesh, Reed! At long last, only one coveted spot in the second phase is left. The margin between survival and death was a measly 3.28% in total SRs. That's small enough that a single technical could have made the difference. I won't give any hints that might give away this person's identity. All I'll say is that their SR total was a staggering 115.84%, and that their making it through might take a few of you by surprise. Without further ado, the final contestant qualifying for Phase 2 of Leah's Solar Flare is... Nindragon471! But wait, there's more! If you keep up to date with LSF news, or if you're observant enough to have noticed that there's still an empty slot in the roster image, you know that a strange anomaly caused a contradiction in the rules this round, which led to me being unsure whether or not an unnamed 52nd contestant deserved to be let into Phase 2. I set up a poll to help decide what should be done about this, but while the overwhelming majority of people sided with letting this person into Phase 2, I undoubtedly biased the results by putting my own opinion in the poll's description, and I think the pro-elimination side of the argument raised a lot of good points. As such, I've decided to settle on a compromise between the two sides that I hope will make the least people upset. Before I get into the specific terms, however, I should probably reveal who the mystery contestant actually is. Most of you have probably already figured out who it is, so I won't grace this reveal with too much suspense, but it is in fact our round 3 debuter, Sergeant Snivy. Okay, here's the deal. Snivy placed 57th in overall SRs, with a total of 97.90%. The rules of elimination state that only the top 51 of Phase 1 will move on to Phase 2, but the rules of prizing state that the top 10% of contestants in a given round will receive a prize to use in the next. Snivy did, in fact, place 3rd this round, which is firmly cemented in the prize zone, and would ordinarily grant him a DRP. What I've settled on, and credit to Lady Mullet for raising the idea, is that I'll let Snivy participate in Phase 2, but with only one response for Round 4, and more importantly, with an SR penalty to make things as fair as possible. Since Snivy fell short of 51st place by a margin of 17.94%, that number will act on his Phase 2 SRs like a sandbag that he'll have to overcome to advance to Phase 3. In case anyone doesn't know, the phase transition essentially acts as a blank slate for contestants. Everyone's SR will start to 0% at the start of Round 4, and their performances through to Round 6 will determine who gets to participate in Phase 3. Snivy, however, will start out at a deficit of negative 17.94% in SRs, meaning he'll have to catch up with everyone else if he wants a shot at becoming a Phase 3 contestant. Does that all make sense? I hope so. Obviously, in an ideal world, this situation would have never come up in the first place, but I think this is the only way to fairly resolve it without totally shafting anyone in particular. With that said, I'm gonna be taking a brief hiatus from hosting LSF in between Phases 1 and 2. Phase 2 won't actually take long to set up at all. It's significantly simpler than the technical hell of Phase 1, but I want some time to spend with my girlfriend and relish in the remaining days of my winter break. I don't know why I wrote spring break in the script. And the passage of the new year without having to worry about the stresses of hosting. You 52 should take this time to get to know each other better. I'll probably do some fun surfer events in the meantime to keep everyone entertained. How long will this hiatus last? Honestly, I'm not sure yet. It could be anywhere from 5 or 6 days on the low end to 2 or 3 weeks on the high end, but you can expect Phase 2 to start up sometime in January either way. I'm sufficiently worn out after doing everything related to this round, and on a larger scale, this phase as a whole. I'm glad I did it, but in all honesty, I'm worried about the rest of the season being a letdown in comparison to the unbridled silliness and chaos of Phase 1.
I never planned for the technicals to get this crazy, and while I truly do hope everyone had fun, I want to make sure you guys have your expectations in check, that the 12 is going to be more chill going forward, at least in comparison to the first 3 rounds. Please stick around though, I'm still going to give everything I've got to make this season the best it can possibly be. And thank you to everyone for seeing it through as far as you have already. Even after hosting for over 2 years, I still feel like I don't have a clue what I'm doing sometimes, but seeing such a positive and engaged community really does keep me motivation to keep going. I'm reaching unfiltered ramble territory now, so I think it's best if I wrap up the episode here. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all next time. This is Leah signing off as we enter the next stage of the game.